Michelle,
Yes.
let's go down into you. What
Okay.
makes you a person, a mom? Because people are probably wondering, this is a disabled entrepreneur channel. What disability does Show live with in her life? Maybe you personally, or maybe with your family. Would you like to describe this?
Sure, sure. So, yeah, personally, I have a condition called EDS. It stands for Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome. It's a genetic connective tissue disorder. So, if you think about it, your entire body is connected with tissues. So, all your ligaments, your joints, your muscles, everything is connected with connective tissues. And for me, all of those are weak. So, in an instance, all EDS impacts in every muscle, every joints, every cell in my body, every organ in my body is impacted by EDS. So with that being said, it impacts my mobility, impacts my breathing, impacts my GI my GI system, impacts my heart, impacts everything. And it's often people go through a lot of, myself included, a lot of diagnoses before even people I realized, a medical professional realized that what's going on. So for me, it took me to having 14 chronic illness diagnoses before we found out that I actually had EDS. Um, and about 10 years of that and two stroke-like episodes and to find out that I had EDS. So now I am wheelchair bound. I use a wheelchair and like I said, I have those 14 diagnoses and I can't tell you how many doctors. And honestly, it's in a month, I probably, ugh, I want to say in a month, I probably have at least 8 to 10 medical appointments. Um, and that's just for myself. And I have 3 children. And between my 3 kids, actually, all 3 of them have autism diagnosis. And then we also have other diagnoses like cerebral palsy, um, Klinefelter syndrome. My daughter also have retina dystrophy, but specifically retina pigmentosa, which is actually a genetic condition as well that impacts the retina in your eyes. So pretty much as it started with losing like impacts night vision, and then over time, like she loses peripheral people with retina pigmentosa loses peripheral vision slowly to the point where it's almost like looking through a uh, keyhole in your door per se, and so it's progressive, and some people end up, it ends up in blindness, and so she's learning to use the cane, and right now she really could not drive at night, and now even during the day, she's having difficulty driving as well. Um, I'm trying to think what other issues we have here. The longer diagnosis here in the house is always long, but those are kind of the big ones. So between but my daughter also just got diagnosed with EDS. So with EDS is also, it's genetic, so it's hereditary. So she got that. She's 18, so she got diagnosed just a couple of weeks ago, actually. Now, as time of recording this, by the time my boys also turn 18, they're gonna go through the process. Often when people are younger, if they're having a lot of other physical stuff going on, then they can get diagnosed earlier. But with my boys, they've had other things going on that maybe, didn't warrant a diagnosis of that just yet. We had more of the neurodiversity things that were more pressing. So the doctor's like, well, right now they're, stable with that. We can wait until the 18 to go through the evaluation process. And so that's kind of, yeah. So our house is pretty busy between their therapies and their challenges. It's a full house. Um and we had to find a lifestyle that worked for us. So like I said, I work mostly from home. I do, travel when I have to for speaking engagements and, speaking at conferences and doing trainings per se. But then my kids also then do cyber school. So we had to find a life that worked for us, like I say, in the sense where they're home and get the support they need. I'm home and get the support that I need. And so we support one another that way.
That is an incredible story because what you have given us is a laundry list almost of the different disabilities and what people would say hindrances and roadblocks within your family.
Mm, mm,
And let's just start with the fact that you, Michaud, are actually wheelchair bound. And
Mhm.
then you have all these medical appointments, but your children also have all these medical appointments, and still you persevere, and still you fight. You fight for others. You fight for others to live well.